But the way this is set up now, nothing's going to change. Solar energy to Obama is like gasohol or whatever. All these alternative energies were to Jimmy Carter. It's just something to get lip service to attract votes, to build false hopes on. It's gonna come. It comes down to this pipeline, which I think Obama already supported. I don't know because I don't follow that stuff, you know. But I'd be I think anybody would be hard pressed to find any president, or for that matter, any member of Congress, really, that's truly has has the balls to face anybody that's in the oil business. Uh, Exxon and these guys like T. Boone Pickens, these guys are priests, holy sacred saints. Uh, the monolith builds altars, worships them, does anything that they want. And the way that I see this with elections and uh, the single party of Jefferson, I just can't see that any change is going to occur. I mean, look at. Well, let me preface this by one of the criticisms that Southern Democrats and the Gestapo had for, which is again is a function of this Southern strategy thing, for opposing minority persons. And, stone me if you want to. But I see that it's true. I don't know if these guys play up to this or what. Okay. But whenever you allow somebody to have rights in America that didn't have them, it always seems as though that group wants to duplicate everything that every other group did. Now, I don't know if that's the same with women, because women, as I see it, are easily the most repressed persons of anyone in the entire society. This is a male dominated society, and it's still largely heterosexual. Heterosexual patriarchy rules in America. These things with this Plan B bill or Plan B policy, uh, with Obama coming out something about 11-year-old girls and all of this business, it all plays up to this heterosexual patriarchal ideal. The man knows what's best for you. The man knows. The man. It was like when Hillary was running for office. It's like, well, Hillary, um, it's kind of like we made big progress with black people. Before Obama became president. The attitude of almost every white person in America was, yes, we will allow a Negro president, but first every white male in America has to be president first. And it's kind of like that with women. It's like, well, we have to let the black guy, he's got to be president first. We have to let him be president first. I would like to see, what I originally wanted was some guy like Muddy Waters to be president and have four wives. A black Mormon. I don't know if there is such a thing. Four wives, and call them the first ladies, and they all have blonde hair and blue eyes. And they're all married to this guy, and he's like this cold black dude. He's got big hands, and talks like this, and have him be president of the United States and let everybody deal with that. But I think what would be really groovy is to have a black woman lesbian as president of the United States, and then let everybody deal with that. Because to a certain degree, as part of evolution, you have to put this in front of people, like death, for instance. It's like death appears as you get to be a certain age, and it's like you don't really want to look at it, and then you start looking at it, and then as you look at it, it starts getting closer and closer and closer, and then the lights are out, and you're gone, and there's nothing to know. It's just over. It's kind of like that with all these prejudices that exist, whether it's gay, lesbian, blacks, women, whatever it is. When it finally happens, the people do have to deal with it. Now, having said that, it's kind of a waste of time on the one hand. Um, Having these people, okay, we got our ethos for America here. Let the black guy, do everything that the white guy did as president. Let him go through all of the things, Let him pretend he's Richard Nixon. Let him do the foreign policy trip, and all of that stuff. Uh, and then apparently the Jeffersons are waiting for now is let's do the same thing with Hillary or some other woman, and that way the system is preserved by using minorities. And guess who does it? The Democratic Party, the party of slavery. They're the ones that end up doing this because they're the ones really that want to preserve what they have. The Republicans don't want to preserve anything. The Republicans just want to blast the whole thing apart, destroy the government, and let businesses rule. Let businesses rule every aspect of your life. Have everything privately controlled, and that's it. But the thing of it is, if you really want change to occur, you have to get away from this idea of doing everything for the boring middle class, because the middle class is boring. Nothing new is going to come from the middle class. It's just another way to preserve the system, to preserve the status quo. That's all that it is. So people like me, for instance, now, you could say, well, you really don't have any talent, Tommy. You spend all your time sitting in this chair here talking to us on the video camera. Nobody pays attention to you. You have no talent. And that could be true. But on the other hand, maybe I do have talent. Maybe I'm an artist. Maybe I could use different mediums to show you things that you did not realize or that you did not think about, and that would make life more pleasant and agreeable. However, I can't do that. And most people that have those talents can't use them, because the system as it's set up does not allow us to do those things. The system as it's set up essentially says, go to church, do your job. This is why they're so big on the jobs. They don't know what else to do with people. Well, we have to control them. We can't let them on the loose. We can't let them, gather together, smoke pot, have free love, and be hippies. We tried that, and there was too much love, peace, and happiness. So, we had to get away with that and get everybody on crack and on cocaine and have them carrying around guns instead of pot pipes and things like that. It was just too dangerous. This is why I'm in favor of this idea of providing subsistence to every man, woman, and child. Now, Richard Nixon, believe it or not, from all the human fallibilities, hates Jews, hates black people, whatever, hates communists, was actually proposed, whether he was serious or not, I don't know. I think he was the guy that proposed the 4-day work week, which is like, wow, that sounds pretty groovy. Personally, I would prefer to have like a 3-day work week with 6-hour days. I think that would be fair. Of course, you would have to come up with things for people to do in their spare time, and it's no doubt people would take other jobs, and if they want to do that, that's fine. But don't make people that aren't equipped to do other jobs. Don't force us to do that, because that's what the system is now. And if you present this to people like, look, this guy does watercolors. You don't have to worry about what benefits you give him anymore, because the government provides him with subsistence. He's got food, he's got shelter, he's got heat, he's got clean water to drink, he, she, whoever. They don't have to worry about that anymore. They're free to pursue their happiness. What was possible at one time when the population was much smaller and people still had access to the earth, the pursuit of happiness. All you Thomas Jeffersons out there, pursuit of happiness, pursuit of happiness. Don't say property. Don't say property rights. It's the pursuit of happiness, okay? You give us access to the earth. You make reparations for depriving us of that. by providing subsistence for us, then we could pursue our happiness. Then we're free to do that. We don't have to say, well, I'd really love to do this. This is really what I want to do with my mortal existence, my limited existence on the planet. This is what I want to do, but I can't fucking do it because I got to do this other gig in order just to eat, in order to have a place to sleep, in order to have a place to keep warm. So I can't do what I want to do because I have to spend my entire existence fucking around with this other shit, which I shouldn't have to do. So what are you going to give up in order so that I could do that? Do you really need all of these submarines floating around and planes cruising around in outer space and making wars on farmers in Afghanistan? Do you really need that? Why don't you just bring it all home and provide subsistence for everybody? And then all of your sacred, holy businessmen could do their own thing. The only people that are going to suffer, of course, is the holiest of holiest, which are the oil guys. Because we're not going to need as much oil as we do now because of the amount that's consumed by the military, or the amount that's consumed in the creation of electricity so that people that live in the desert could have air conditioners. Another wonderful American planning idea. So if you really think that you want something to change, if you're happy with the way that it is, you should vote Republican. Because really the only difference between them is that Democrats have all of these little pet projects that they spend a lot of money on, and it gets them reelected. And the Republicans get reelected by doing all of these things for businesses. So if you believe in that thing, then you should just, vote for Newt Gingrich or somebody like that. Or you could vote for Obama if you're black and you feel like, oh, he's a black guy, but at the same time, everybody that's Irish could say, well, Newt's Irish, let's vote for him. So like if you're happy, like the Democratic Republican single party monolith is, with everything the way that it is, don't do anything. Just go with the flow. Just do your thing, because that's essentially what the monolith does. So, all it comes down to is maybe you get like a $20 tax break or whatever from the Republicans, or, $1,000 tax break or whatever the hell it is, and nothing's going to change. So however your life is right now, that's going to be it. Learn to live with it. Swallow it. That's all you got. Personally, I'm going to be dead soon, and maybe if somebody that listens to this is younger than me, and they're going to have to suffer through all of this shit just like I did. Some things have improved a little bit, but it's essentially the same life. Back when there was pollution and things like that, there were also fast cars. You could have a hot rod, or you could have some car that was easier to work on. So there's always some kind of trade-off like that. And those are the things that you have to think about. But if you consider yourself to be truly progressive, I don't really see any hope at all of anything actually happening as long as you have the single party monolith. And I don't see how you're going to change that. These guys are pretty well fixed in their thinking and their ideas and what they want to do, and I don't see any of them changing from that. So to me, the only inspiration I get is from various people in the Occupy Wall Street movement. Of course, I don't like this thing with the corporate personhood business. It's Bernie Sanders, this amendment and everything's completely and thoroughly unnecessary.